Yo, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a lot of news to cover. First off today is the new Grand Theft Auto leak. Over the weekend, videos of Grand Theft Auto 6 got leaked. I haven't played all of the Grand Theft Auto games. I've honestly never finished GTA 5, even though it's been out for like a decade. But something I can say is that Rockstar always makes good games. Going back to San Andreas, which was the Grand Theft Auto I played the most, that game was fun. It was revolutionary for the time. And then they had GTA 5, which came out in 2014 for the PS3 originally, and to see how revolutionary that was on the PS3, to see it still look good on the PS4, and to see it even look good on the PS5. It's crazy how Rockstar gets the most out of their games. People are complaining that the game doesn't look finished, and that's because it's not finished. This was something that they didn't want. Rockstar released a message on Twitter saying, "We recently suffered a network intrusion in which an unauthorized third party illegally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our systems, including early development footage for the next Grand Theft Auto. At this time, we do not anticipate any disruption to our live game servers, nor any long-term effect on the development of our ongoing projects. We are extremely disappointed to have any details of our next game shared with you all in this way. Our work on the next Grand Theft Auto game will continue as planned, and we remain as committed as ever to delivering an experience to you, our players, that truly exceeds your expectations. We will update everyone again soon, and of course, we'll properly introduce you to this next game when it's ready. We want to thank everyone for their ongoing support through this situation, the Rockstar Games." While as a fan of gaming, this leak was cool to see, it's still sad to see this happen to a studio like Rockstar. My opinions on the leak: it's going to be a great game, like every Rockstar game. I'll probably play it, I'll definitely watch videos on it, but my heart goes out to Rockstar, who has put in so much time into this game to have it leaked. But I'm sure when it comes out, it's going to blow your mind. Next topic for today is Twitch Stop Gambling trending on Twitter. Now, I don't watch a lot of Twitch just because I don't have the time to. I watch more YouTube videos at my convenience, listen to it while driving, stuff like that. So Twitch isn't something I watch a lot, but Twitch is really cool. And there's an issue on Twitch where people are getting sponsored to gamble, and they are gambling large amounts of money. And we're not going to look at this from a Christian perspective. Yes, I'm a Christian, but I'm also more of a libertarian, where you can do what you want to. Your life doesn't bother me. If you go out and gamble, it's not going to bother me. If you're out doing drugs, as long as it doesn't affect me and the people I love, that's your decision. Do I think doing drugs is right? No. But I do think we should be good stewards of our money. I have nothing wrong with smart gambling. And by that, I mean something like, oh, let me put $10 down that the Falcons are going to blow a 28-3 lead and get paid a lot of money. Very Falcon-like. But my biggest issue with the gambling on Twitch is that it's not people spending their own money. We have people losing $1 million. People don't see the impact behind it because they're not losing their own money, and people see this gambling and they think, wow, I can do it too, and then people get addicted. I don't think that gambling on Twitch itself is wrong. It's entertaining, and yes, it's a game, and that's what Twitch is for. I guess also IRL conversation. So I don't think that they should necessarily stop gambling in its entirety. I think maybe something that they should do is to stop sponsored gambling. I think that would help the situation a lot. I think the amount of issues that it causes from addicted gambling would go down quite a bit. If you're losing $1 million a stream or $100,000 a stream, it's gonna hit you a lot harder when it's your own money rather than somebody else. Next on our list is the new Modern Warfare 2. The beta has been out over the weekend, and the game looks good. In 2022, we kind of expect Call of Duty to look good. Starting with Modern Warfare 2019, the game took a whole different leap in how it looks. I haven't played the beta yet, but it does look fun. A couple good things that I noticed: seems to be fresh. The map seemed to be good. Like I said, I haven't personally played it. Something that they introduced in Vanguard was Loom, where your first shot or two doesn't go exactly where you're pointing the gun while aimed down sight. And it's something I think does not belong in a first-person shooter. I think something like Fortnite, where you're not aimed down sight, that makes more sense. but where you can aim down sight and put your red dot exactly where you want the bullet to go, there should not be bloom. A couple bad things, the mini-map. Back to the Modern Warfare 2019, where people that fire an unsuppressed weapon don't show up on the mini-map. I don't think that's good. I think that slows down the pace of the game quite a bit, especially when you have a gunsmith that can use 5 attachments. You definitely should get punished for not running a suppressor. If it was 1 attachment or 2 attachments back like in the old Call of Duties, I think this could be fine. I would like to see how it works, but you have 5 attachments, you can spare 1 for some type of suppressor. Another bad thing is the footsteps are loud. I remember playing Modern Warfare 2019, and honestly, all you have to have is a headset. And today, everybody has a headset. I have a pair of Astros. You can literally close your eyes and know where people are coming from. I was helping a friend who just started playing Call of Duty, and we were in a bot lobby. I told him to close his eyes and tell me where I was. Even on Cold War, he could tell me, "You're behind me to my right." And that's how audio should be. You should be able to hear people like that. But you shouldn't be able to hear people from 5 rooms over. Loud footsteps are an issue, but the bigger issue is that there is no perk like Ninja. Ninja's only a field upgrade at this point. Hopefully they put that in later. There's no way to make yourself have quieter footsteps where you would want to rush, because in a game like this, you get punished for rushing. If you want to run around, you sound like you have cinder blocks on your feet, and the people who are sitting still will know where you are just because you're moving. Next thing is Warzone 2. I don't play much Warzone. The battle royale that I played the most was Fortnite. It was fun, it was revolutionary. Fortnite actually did a lot for the gaming scene. Even if you don't like Fortnite, you have to give props to Epic. They revolutionized a change in gaming where cross-platform is almost on demand now. It seems like most good games are cross-platform. Unless you're Madden or 2K, your game's gonna have to be cross-platform to succeed. And honestly, as a PC player, I won't buy a Madden or 2K until it's cross-platform, because the game on PC isn't what it should be. I tried to play Ultimate Draft one time, and there wasn't enough cards in the market to make Ultimate Team even fun. So getting back on topic to Warzone 2, I think that it's good that there's no loadouts. So it's more like a actual battle royale instead of knowing the meta. Whenever I wanted to hop on Warzone, I'd have to look up a YouTube video and find out what gun is good right now, because from the multiplayer to Warzone, the guns didn't act the same. But I think this balances out the playing field quite a bit, where if you just want to pick up the game once a week, once every other week, once a month, then you won't have an issue. I can jump on Fortnite right now, and I'll know if I pick up a gold gun, it's going to be better than picking up a blue gun. And yes, some of the guns act different in Fortnite, but that's the good thing. I can pick up a gun, get a kill with it, or just shoot it and say, I don't like how this gun behaves. Let me drop it out for something I know, for something I like better. And I think Warzone should take that approach, where it's not so much meta-based, but it's still fun like a battle royale. Something else I liked from what I saw of Warzone is that they added a bunch of old Call of Duty maps. The new Call of Duty is going to be a 2-year game. And if you look at Vanguard, that game probably wasn't even a 2-month game. Vanguard I actually didn't buy. I tried during one of the 2-week trials, and I played 1 or 2 games and literally said, this game sucks, I'm gonna uninstall it. So this next Call of Duty is gonna have a big struggle with keeping people entertained for 2 years, but it's also gonna be hard to keep adding content and keeping competitive happy at the same time. I think old Call of Duty maps are a great thing. Shouldn't be the only thing, but I think it would be a great thing. It'll keep the game alive longer. So to see them already have the assets built into Warzone 2, I think is great. Next on our news from this past week is the new iPhone released. It was Friday and I was delivering packages and had all these boxes. I had seen that Apple had their conference, but I didn't know that the new iPhone was coming out already. I just didn't keep up on it. And when we deliver iPhones, they need a signature. And so this guy said, do you know what this is? I said, no, what is it? He said, it's the new iPhone. I said, huh, that's weird. Mine hasn't started acting up yet. Apple has this stigma for the longest time. It's mainly back in the day, but it still sticks with people in their head, that the old iPhone would get so much worse when the new one came out. And so that was kind of funny. The new iPhones don't look to be much of an upgrade. A couple of big things that they did was they got rid of the mini, they added a plus, so now they had the 14, the 14 Plus, the 14 Pro, and then the 14 Pro Max. The biggest thing I took away is that they're adding more of a gap between the Pro and the regular model. If you want 3 cameras, you have to get a Pro, which it was that way last year. But now they're adding a bunch of features to the Pros that they didn't add to the regular. One example of this is their adaptive refresh rate, where it can scale from 120 Hz down to 1. I don't know if the 14 regular has a 120 hertz screen and the 13 doesn't. But to have a higher refresh rate and to be able to adapt down, say battery life, battery huge improvement from the pros to the regular. As a consumer, it wouldn't make me happy, but from a business standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. The new iPhones I don't think are that big of an improvement, but something that is a huge improvement is the new iOS 16. My top feature from the new iOS is you can go and edit iMessages. You can unsend, say if I'm texting somebody and I misspell something, now I can edit it and make that word spelled correctly so I don't look stupid or uneducated. I can unsend it. Next thing is copying images from pictures. If I want to take a picture of something and maybe use it for a thumbnail, now I can take a picture of it and hold it down and select the image and move it, kind of like a Photoshop, at your fingers for pictures that you've taken. They have good live text now. If you have your camera out and you have writing on the picture that you're taking, before you even take the picture, you can hold down, say if it's in a different language, you can translate it, you can copy paste, you can move it somewhere else. I think the live text is really good. And one of my favorite features of the Apple Maps is having multiple stops. Google Maps has had this forever. And when I had an Android, I loved Google Maps. In fact, I think Google Maps is better than Apple Maps. But my fiance persuaded me to get an iPhone so we could FaceTime, and out of love, I decided to compromise. Back when I originally had an iPhone, there were a lot of limitations on what you could do. I was big into jailbreaking, but now Apple has opened it up more. So now I'm in the Apple ecosystem and have an Apple Watch. Well, if you're using Google Maps, you don't get updates on your watch like you use Apple Maps. So the majority of the time, I use Apple Maps unless I need to plan multiple stops. And now with Apple Maps, you can do that, and it's great. And I used it the first time the other day, and it works perfectly. Something that Apple does really well is that they don't add things until they can do it really well. Sometimes that means that features that we see on Android 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, Apple applies it. People think, wow, they're just now applying it, but it's because they put it in really well. Next on our list is a crazy week of choking in the NFL. I was keeping up on a couple games, mainly due to fantasy relevance, and we saw a lot of games blown. I had a friend that was at the Browns game, and he said that it seems every time he goes there, they lose. And I look, and they're winning 30-17. I think, you know what? Even though I'm a Steelers fan, I'm glad that the Browns won the week that he won. And then I get a text from him later explaining how much the Browns suck. I didn't even know they lost. There was 2 minutes left, and they were up by 13. And I look, and I saw that the Jets miraculously won that game. I was like, wow, the Browns really choked. And a couple people I was facing fantasy, we do daily fantasy football. We don't draft teams for the year, we draft teams every week. Had Tyreek Hill. I said, he's not doing much, you know. Ravens blown out the Dolphins, 21-point lead in the fourth quarter. I think the game's over, and then Tua and Tyreek Hill explode, which I did come in second place this week. And the next thing I know, it's a game, and they're going back and forth, and then the Ravens are winning 38-35. I think, how is this even a game? This was a blowout. And then Tua ended up throwing a 6th touchdown pass, and they won. We see that the Rams almost choked. I had Cooper Kupp, and I'm watching, and there's like 2 minutes left in the first half, and he has no targets. I'm like, what is going on? And then he turned it up, and well, I'm like, this game's out of hand, whatever. And I go back, and the Falcons, who usually blow the lead, almost came back and beat the Rams. And then the biggest choke of the week, the Raiders. The Cardinals struggled really bad last week against the Chiefs. I thought, I'm going to stack Derek Carr and Devontae Adams. And Devontae Adams did nothing. I sent out an MIA for him. I lost this week by 12 points and had Devontae Adams get 2 catches for 12 yards. Here I am keeping up on this game. I see that the Cardinals are down by 8 with 3 seconds left. This is the last game to finish of our fantasy week. For some reason FanDuel doesn't let us do primetime games. I really wanted Mike Williams this week, but I couldn't get him. I see it's 3 seconds left and the Cardinals score. I'm thinking, oh, if they get this 2-point conversion, I'm down by 12 points. Maybe Derek Carr can throw a touchdown to Devontae Adams and I win the week. Because you have the 6 points for the touchdown for the quarterback, the 6 points for the receiver, also a half point for the receiver, plus any yards on both sides, and so it goes into overtime. It felt like a Buffalo Wild Wings commercial. And then the Cardinals get the ball, I'm thinking, oh, and then they get stopped. Thinking, okay, there's a pass to Devontae Adams, incomplete. Another one, incomplete. And he passes to Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow fumbles, they pick it up, I'm thinking, that was close. Because after the first possession, any score wins. I'm thinking, look, I don't care about who wins this game. Just pass it to Devontae Adams. Because, you know, fantasy over real life. Then he throws to Hunter Renfrow, and he fumbles, and the Cardinals scoop it up, run in for a touchdown, and the game's over. And my fantasy week is destroyed. I'm hoping somebody in Las Vegas knows CPR because the Raiders choked. Okay guys, last thing we want to talk about this week, we'll cover it real quickly, is the crypto crash. Cryptocurrency, all of them, not just Bitcoin, has crashed. I don't know a lot about crypto, but if I'm willing to make a bet, I'm going to say that it bounces back. Every time that crypto has dipped, it has come back. Bitcoin specifically. Down to about 19,000 for one Bitcoin now. About a week or two ago, it was 18,300. People think that crypto is going to be something like the Titanic, where people didn't think it could sink, and then it sank, or something else that they thought couldn't crash, like a market or something like that. But honestly, in my personal opinion, not financial advice, I think crypto is going to come back stronger than ever. I appreciate you guys tuning in for the video, catching up on all the news this week. In the comments below, tell me what you think of the new Grand Theft Auto. You think Twitch should stop all gambling, should just let it be, maybe stop sponsor gambling. Tell me if you're excited about the new Call of Duty. Tell me what phone that you have, if it's an Android, or tell me which iPhone that you have. While you're down there, tell me your favorite NFL team. And if they were on this list of people who choked, I'm so sorry. We'll send a medic. Other than that, you guys have a fantastic day. Subscribe for more. We'll see you later.
This could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.